Clarity Clinical Solutions.
Before a statistician ever sees the data, an army of data managers, monitors, and systems work to collect, clean, and lock every piece of information from a clinical trial. The integrity of the entire study depends on this invisible machinery. The data lifecycle has 4 stages. Collection: data is captured at the clinical site and entered into electronic case report forms. Verification: clinical monitors visit the site to verify that eCRF data matches source documents. Cleaning: automated edit checks and manual queries identify inconsistencies. Lock: after all queries are resolved, the database is locked and ready for statistical analysis. Electronic case report forms (eCRFs) are the digital backbone of data collection. Every protocol-defined data point has a dedicated field. Systems like Metadata Rave and Oracle Clinical are industry standards. Good eCRF design is crucial. Forms must use standardized coding systems like MedDRA for adverse events and include logical skip patterns. A typical Phase 3 trial has 200 to 500 eCRF pages per patient, capturing 1,000 to 3,000 unique data points. Source data is where the numbers come from: hospital charts, lab printouts, ECG strips, and patient diaries. The source is the truth. Source data must follow the Alcoa principles: attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate. Alcoa Plus adds complete, consistent, enduring, and available. Increasingly, electronic source data from labs and EHRs flows directly into the eCRF, eliminating manual transcription errors. Source data verification, SDV, is the process that ensures data entered matches the original source. A clinical research associate visits the trial site and compares each eCRF entry against the medical record. Traditional practice was 100% SDV for all data. Modern risk-based monitoring uses targeted SDV of critical data, primary endpoint, consent, serious adverse events, and a sample of other data. SDV accounts for 30 to 40% of monitoring costs. Data cleaning and query resolution. The database runs hundreds of pre-programmed edit checks, range checks, consistency checks, missing data checks. When a discrepancy is flagged, a query is generated and sent to the site. The investigator must respond, correcting the data or providing an explanation. A Phase 3 trial typically generates 5,000 to 20,000 queries. Each must be resolved before database lock. Every trial has a data management plan written before enrollment starts. It specifies eCRF design, validation rules, coding dictionaries, the SDV plan, and the database lock process. The DMP is a living document, updated throughout the trial with version tracking. It is signed by the lead data manager, project manager, and biostatistician. The clinical database is highly normalized, separated into domains like demographics, vital signs, lab results, and adverse events. Each domain links to the patient and visit. Clinical databases must comply with FDA 21 CFR Part 11. Electronic records must be secure, have audit trails, and use electronic signatures. Most databases use the CDISC SDTM standard, ensuring data from different trials can be pooled consistently. Edit checks validate data automatically. Range checks confirm values are biologically plausible, systolic blood pressure between 50 and 300. Logic checks verify cross-field consistency. A male patient should not have a pregnancy test result. Date checks ensure visit dates are in the correct order. Edit checks are validated with dummy data before the database goes live. The audit trail captures every change: who made it, what the old value was, what the new value is, when it happened, and why. The audit trail cannot be edited or deleted. Regulators inspect audit trails to detect data fraud. In one famous case, the FDA caught systematic data fabrication by detecting identical ECG values entered at identical timestamps for different patients. Database lock is the final step. Before lock, all queries resolved, all SDV complete, adverse events reconciled, coding complete, protocol deviations identified. Once locked, the database is read-only. No changes without extraordinary reason. Lock typically happens 4 to 12 weeks after the last patient's last visit. The locked database is exported for analysis, archived, and submitted to regulators. A day in the life of a data manager. Morning, review overnight queries, prioritize critical data. Midday, data review meetings, review quality metrics like query rate per site. Afternoon, user acceptance testing of new eCRF pages or edit checks. A data manager typically handles 2 to 4 trials simultaneously, with 50 to 500 active patients across 10 to 50 sites. Common pitfalls. Poor eCRF design creates thousands of unnecessary queries. The most cost-effective fix is good design upfront. Late query resolution delays database lock. Inconsistent coding creates noise in safety analysis. And lack of site training generates 3 to 5 times more queries. Investing in training is the highest ROI data management activity. So here is what we learned. Data is collected via eCRFs with 200 to 500 forms per patient. Source data verification ensures accuracy. Automated and manual cleaning resolves thousands of queries. Audit trails capture every change forever. Database lock makes data immutable. Data management is not glamorous. But without it, the most brilliantly designed trial is just noise. The integrity of every drug approval depends on the invisible work of data managers.